Oh, you have more Harry Potter but it's superheroes for me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Great, what happens in this thing?
Well, we're gonna start off by meeting America's solution to All Might, right?
And what's that?
This female hero named Star and Strife, and her power is that, she can change the rules of reality.
How does that work?
Well, for example, she can say like, hey, the air 100 meters in front of me, that's gone now, so the people who are inside that are gonna start suffocating.
Oh, that seems kind of overpowered.
Which is why Shigaraki / All For One is gonna want her quirk so bad.
Oh, does that mean we're gonna have a fight scene like immediately?
We sure are. Star and Stripe and a lot of dudes and a lot of jets versus one guy in a suit.
So she could just in theory say like, hey, that person over there, explodificate.
Ah, well you see the thing is for living creatures she has to call them by the name they respond to.
Oh, I get it. So it would be more like, hey, Shigaraki, you explodificate.
Well no, that doesn't work because he's neither Shigaraki nor All For One right now because of the weird finagling stuff, and anyway, she can't use her powers on him is the point.
Because the show would be over in 2 episodes and then we'd have no show, right?
Essentially the show would be over in 2 episodes, yeah, so I found a middle ground.
What's that?
Star dies and her quirk is stolen.
Sounds like a very bad guy-centric ground.
But she managed to set a rule that her stolen quirk will, kill other quirks.
And does that work?
It sure does, and Shigaraki is not having a great time.
Ooh, sounds like that'll be hard for him to fix.
Actually, super simple, barely an annoyance.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he just tries to pawn it off to some random person, but then the quirk decides it's died now, it's done.
Can they do that?
Apparently so, and then we're gonna meet up with our main cast of characters again.
Oh yeah, what are Deku and the gang up to?
Rooting out traitors, mostly.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so the invisible girl, who's a character in the story, by the way, is gonna find out that this other guy, Alyuma, who's also a character in the story, is actually the traitor / mole inside of UA.
Wait, who was Alyuma again?
The guy with the navel laser who always had a stomach ache and screamed about cheese.
Ah, the French boy, got it.
And then we're gonna learn that Alyuma helps All For One because he was actually born quirkless and All For One gave him a quirk.
Well, that's a nice story, but surely Alyuma's gonna be, put in jail for all of those crimes that he's done, right?
Now the class immediately trusts him again after he explains himself.
You'd think they might feel a little more betrayed after finding out that their classmate was a villain this whole time.
Well, they won't because, they've got a plan formulating, and in this season we're not gonna have time for complex emotions that aren't attached to fight scenes.
What's the plan?
Let Alyuma prove himself to be a hero again by luring All For One into a trap.
What kind of trap?
The trap where Deku's just standing in the middle of nowhere all alone saying, come and get me.
Oh, you mean the thing that Deku tried for all of Season 6, Part 2, and, didn't work because All For One was too smart to fall for an obvious trap?
So he's gonna fall for the obvious trap.
Oh, he does.
Yeah, and so then the heroes are gonna have the copy guy Monoma take the Enderman-like Kurogiri's teleportation quirk and use it to teleport the heroes and the villains all around specific places in the country.
Ooh, and how does that go?
Pretty well, actually. They take Shigaraki to a floating island with the racer head and Monoma on them so that, he can't use his quirks.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, but then Shigaraki decides that with raw strength alone, he's able to grow, just infinite arms.
Essentially, you needed him to be quirkless, but still somehow super powerful, right?
Pretty much, yeah, but there's a problem.
The first of many, I imagine.
Toga pulled Deki into her portal, even though, he was supposed to go with Shigaraki, so that's not good.
So he's going to immediately leave and go to where Shigaraki is, right?
Close. First, Toga's gonna confess her feelings for him, and we're gonna have a funny scene where Deku's like, oh my gosh, a girl likes me.
Was that really necessary?
Look, sir, it was sort of like a now or never thing, so yes, it was absolutely necessary.
Alright. So after the kind of necessary, but also probably not super necessary love confession, Deku's gonna then go full speed ahead towards Shigaraki, right?
Yes, and by the way, running away from a confession to fight a supervillain is definitely a strat we should use again in, the next rom-com we make.
Oh, I imagine several people will like that idea.
I know, right? And then we're gonna jump to Todoroki fighting his older brother Dabby, and, he beats him by turning him into a popsicle.
Ooh, a Dabby-themed popsicle. We should totally sell those.
No, we shouldn't. And then Hawks and Endeavor, they're gonna fight All For One, right?
Oh, and how does that go?
Well, Endeavor's gonna manage to burn All For One's body to a crisp, so, he's dead now, right?
Strong start.
Then All For One decides that it's rewind time and uses Ares' quirk to rewind his own body.
Wait, why does he have that now, and how can he use it?
Because he does, and because I said he does. And so anyway, now he's rewinding to his younger body, which means he's also getting a lot stronger.
What happens next?
We switch scenes.
Oh, switching scenes right when it's probably the worst time to switch scenes is lit.
Indeed it is, and so then Bakugo's gonna be fighting Shigaraki, right?
Oh, and how does he do against him?
Pretty well, actually. He decides that, exploding from his hands is so yesterday, so he decides to start exploding from his whole body instead.
So, essentially he levels up.
Pretty much, yeah, but that's not enough to stop Shigaraki, who stabs him through the chest and freaking kills him.
You already did a fake-out Bakugo death in the last season. I'm not falling for that again.
Well, what if he was actually dead this time?
Wait, is he?
Maybe. The last we're gonna see of him is some superhero CPR because, Deku's gonna come charging in with a superhero smash right out of a comic book.
Oh, the main hero and the main villain are finally gonna meet. What happens there?
Well, Deku's gonna use his ultimate move of glowing a lot and punch right through all of Shigaraki's many hands.
And then what happens?
We cut away.
Do you maybe want to stay on topic for long enough that more than one singular thing happens?
No, and so then Spinner's gonna arrive at the hospital with an army full of people who look different and feel oppressed by society because of
Hang a second, are you trying to say something?
No, maybe, yes.
Oh, dang it, I can't parse between those answers, so I have no choice but to let you proceed.
Great, so Spinner, he's gotten pretty jacked, because, All for One gave him a quirk that turns him into a walking, talking dinosaur.
Why'd he do that?
So that he can climb walls for, like, one scene or something. It's not important. What is important is that they're there to break out the Enderman dude from the hospital.
And did they do that?
Well, after causing physical harm to many heroes and police officers, the people who feel oppressed by society are going to decide they're done with all that violent stuff after seeing that there are people inside that hospital.
Oh, and how are we gonna show that?
Oh, get this. This one guy is gonna, like, drop a bat.
Cool, what about the rest of them?
Not sure.
Wait, if only one guy dropped his bat, then maybe there are others in the crowd who don't drop their bats and decide they still want to have their revenge upon the people who they believe have wronged them.
Well, seeing as we will never see them again, I don't care.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't. And so then the Spinner guy is gonna reach the Enderman guy and by sheer plot convenience manage to activate it.
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
Well, it's not because, now the Enderman guy is a main character in the story again.
And what does he do?
Well, first we have to go back in time.
Okay, fine, I'll allow it just this once, but you're not gonna make a habit of that one, right?
Sure.
Wait a second.
Anyway, Toga's gonna be fighting with Uraraka, right? And Toga, she's got some of twice his blood she can use to transform.
How'd she get that?
By getting it off screen or something. And anyway, because she actually likes Twice as a person, when she drinks the blood and turns into him, she can use his quirk of, multiplying infinitely.
Oh, that's not good, but at least it's contained to what I assume is, an island, right?
And then the Enderman's gonna arrive, and the Toga/Twice clones are going to arrive where Shigaraki is and take out Eraserhead, so Shigaraki can use his quirks again.
Oh, that's just even more not good.
No, it's not, but he's still reeling from Deku's multicolored punch, so, he's gonna stay, in the same place for a few minutes.
Why?
So that just when you thought all was lost, we're going to have everyone's favorite hero-turned-villain-turned-hero duo again of Gentle Criminal and Labratfa showing up, right?
Wait, who?
They're the ones that tried to break into the UA school, Season 4, Part 2.
You mean the arc that was extremely forgettable and people really hated?
The very same, and so Gentle Criminal is gonna use his elastic to try to keep the floating island in the sky to keep Shigaraki off the ground.
Okay, I guess that's cool, epic, and heroic, boxes checked.
And then the lovely lady Nagant is also going to appear and from a possibly long distance away shoot off Shigaraki's hand so he can't use decay.
Wait, I thought she was comatose after nearly dying last season.
Oh yeah, it was one of those near-death comatoses that only lasts for a season, and so then anyway, we're moving back to All for One, right?
Oh yeah, what's up with this rewindy fella?
Well, you see, it says here that Hawks is gonna lose his quirk and All for One is gonna get away.
Oh, so not good.
Not really known. To top it off, the Enderman guy brought Dabby to end him.
Oh, so it's like a father-son fight, right?
Close. Every member of the Todoroki family, including the mother and the brother and the sister, are also gonna be there.
What about the Todoroki we spent most of the series with?
Oh yeah, that Todoroki. Well, the thing about him is that this guy Tenya, who's definitely not the Flash.
Definitely not.
We give the Todoroki we know and love a ride to the rest of his family, who's gonna use all of their collective ice powers to cool down their older brother who's having a temper tantrum.
Didn't he kill, like, a lot of people?
A really large temper tantrum. And then anyway, we're gonna find out that Uraraka followed Toga through the portal to where All for One is.
Oh, and what's Uraraka gonna try to do?
Talk to her.
Well, I mean, there's no way that works, right? I mean, just for a start, she couldn't even pick out the real Toga amongst the cloud of infinite clones.
And the first thing Uraraka's gonna do is notice that the crying clone is probably the real Toga.
Okay, but there's no way that talking to a murderous psychopath whose only intent is to annihilate all the heroes is gonna work, right?
So it ends up working.
Ah.
And since Uraraka's injured, Toga's gonna decide to, transform into her and then give her like a blood transfusion, which will probably end up killing Toga.
Does it?
Not sure, because we cut away.
You're getting far too comfortable with that new trick.
I know, right? It's like I don't ever have to resolve anything ever. I can just cut away.
I mean, you will eventually, though, right?
Sure. And so then we're gonna have like the most epic rematch ever, right?
Isn't this whole thing a rematch from season 6?
Shut up. And so then we're gonna have like All for One who only steals quirks versus like All Might who's quirkless, right?
Wait, how's All Might gonna fight All for One if he's quirkless?
Well, he's kind of banking on the fact that All for One hates him more than anyone else.
Okay, makes sense, I suppose.
And also, he's Iron Man now.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he's got this really cool suit that kind of mimics the moves of Hero Class 1-A, and he's gonna use it to combat against All for One's, like, insane power.
Wait, so after all these seasons, we finally have a quirkless hero in an advanced enough technology suit that a school teacher could afford it.
It seems that way for sure.
You'd think at some point, like a quirkless billionaire might have thought about this idea somewhere down the line.
Oh, well, there's your spin-off show.
Ooh, I like that.
And so anyway, then All Might and All for One, they're gonna exchange blows, and All for One is slowly getting younger, All Might's getting slowly more damaged, Deku and Shigaraki are still in sort of like a tangle spinny kind of thing, and it's kind of like an old versus new kind of deal, right?
Okay, and then what?
We cut away.
What to?
Oh, I should have been more specific. We cut away from the season.
What?
Yeah, we get out of there pretty quick.
I feel like not even one thing had a resolution, and so many people are either close to death or just dying.
Well, you see, the reason why it might feel like nothing was resolved is because nothing was resolved.
Well, then why did you do that?
Well, because we still need enough content for the final season, right?
And that's the next one.
Exactly.
Cool. So hey, now that the anime is actually essentially over.
Still a year away.
Oh, shut all the way up. Do you think maybe we could go for like a live action version next?
No, I don't at all.
Why not?
Because it's likely to be unfaithful in its adaptation of the source material, it's probably not going to be as good as the anime anyway, and it might damage the reputation of the brand in a permanent fashion.
Okay, so all those perfectly valid arguments you just laid out, I chose not to hear any of them.
Oh, this cannot end well.
Hey guys, Anime Pitch Me here. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, then I suggest you click over here for something that is similar to what you just watched, and yet it's not exactly what you just watched. Anyway, see you in the next one.